Hello and welcome to another episode of No Small Roles, a D&D podcast where there are no small roles and no one but you who can hear that distant and incessant music. I'm David Knight, your Dungeon Master, and I'm joined by this travelling band of misfits. Say hi, everyone.
Hello!
Hi, 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 hi. I know we've just started recording, but I really need a wee. So, let's cue the theme tune!
Prepare your party of players and polyhedral dice. Your tragic backstory better be worth the sacrifice. Seize your sheets and D20. Let's play D&D. You'll have your character swaggers with daggers in each hand. You've all discussed what you must, but even better laid plans. Take a turn when checks are missed.
Roll initiative. Brandish your blades. Don't fail your saves. No risk too great, no choice too bold. This is your story. No guts, no glory. Confront your fate with every roll. Every roll.
Rises inside, one who will pay the price. Their chance of success will rest upon the dice. No risk too great, no choice too bold. This is No Small Roles.
So, after a brief discussion on which direction to take, you decide to begin your investigation with Archmagus Erida Wingthrup, setting out north towards the Golden Forest in the Lake Ward. Whilst there was little trouble on the road, you chatted idly and shared a little about your personal histories, especially where family was concerned. Passing through the village of Allfeld, you spoke with two soldiers wearing the armbands of Lord Berrien, who were encouraging the locals to sign up to join his army. Realising they were offering frosted drink, you politely refused and continued on your way. During your rests, Orin had begun to hear a distant melody in his head, and one evening, whilst Juna and Gaius kept watch, the artificer began to sleepwalk over to the bard, standing patiently nearby. And that's where we pick it up. So Orin, I believe, has actually just been woken up by Juna.
Yeah.
But that's the surprise of it. You have sleptwalk over to them. You can still kind of hear that music distantly in the background of your mind. But it's nighttime. Gaius and Juna are staring at you quite strangely.
Can you hear that music?
No.
Nope. Just you getting up out of your sleep and walking over to us and then looking all befuddled, buddy.
Yeah, you look like you were waiting for Gaius to do or say something. Were you having a dream or?
Was I having a dream, David?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, but nothing specific.
Nothing specific, no.
Not that I remember. No, you just woke me up and I seem to be stood up over here rather than sleeping over there.
It's not to do with that new fancy flute thing, Gaius, is it? I mean, not that you'd necessarily know, but
No, not really. Unless you play it, and then it moves you. Well, as in, I can make somebody move 15 feet this way or that way or whichever way. But I wasn't playing. It was a Juna.
No, definitely not.
Maybe it's because he was subconsciously thinking, who is the man of my dreams? And then he just naturally that intuition kicked in, and then he just was propelled himself forward towards me. I'm just saying, Orin, it could be a sign.
Okay, I'll take your word for that then, Gaius.
I am often the man of people's dreams.
It does sound a bit similar to what you played on your flute.
I've got an idea. Why don't you play it at me and see if the same thing happens to me?
Okie dokie. Just bear with me. I'm just going to look through my bags here, because it would be very unusual if I had it on straight away.
That would be dramatically convenient.
It would be, wouldn't it? Aha! Here we are. And I'll pull it out and I'll do a little... Like the countdown theme tune, apparently.
So, Juna, it's up to you whether or not you resist the effects of the spell, or whether or not you, willingly follow the music, as it were.
Yeah, I think she willingly follows the music.
In which case, Gaius, which direction would you like Juna to walk?
Not towards the fire that we have, so preferably if the fire is to the right, then she will go left.
How far can you move, Juna? Because you can move up to half your speed.
I can only move 25 feet normally.
12 and a half.
I'm only little.
So, yeah, half rounded down. So, yeah, just over 10 feet, basically. You sort of shuffle over. It's a very nice tune that plays, but with Gaius finishing playing, the spell effect ends on you, Juna. And Orin, the music in your head stops.
It stopped.
Oh, that's good.
I can't hear the music anymore. Oh, well done.
Juna has a listen in her head.
There's no music playing in there.
Oh,
That was weird.
yeah.
Why? What's happened?
Oh. No, I can't hear it anymore.
And I can't hear it either.
Guy?
Can I hear anything?
No.
Nope, I can't hear anything. Well, that was a fun adventure. We solved that puzzle. I'm
Back to
sure
bed.
nothing else will come from this. I guess we're coming to the end of our watch, and
Okay, well, I'm up now anyway.
nothing in the trees. Now we've been talking for a while, DM. Can we just do another check to see if anything's coming?
Yeah. Everyone make another perception check.
Oh, dear. 5.
12.
12.
11.
No, between the three of you, you're quite happy that there's nothing out moving in the night. Juna is a little bit more distracted because she's just really listening out for flute
Yeah,
music.
for sure.
Which obviously there isn't any, so she sort of doesn't really do a thorough check in that way. But yeah, no, you're quite happy that it's quite a peaceful night. If you all want to go back to sleep, for instance, or hand over to the next watch.
Yeah, shall I take over?
I think maybe that's a good idea.
Okay.
See, because I'm up now anyway.
Yeah, just make sure that there's someone else with you there, just in case, you hear that music again and just start walking towards me again. I mean, I don't mind having a cuddle, but I just need that consent, I need to be awake.
So if the others are resting, Orin, are you going to take watch alone, or are you going to wake someone else up to join you?
Well, I think I'll take the advice that I should wake someone else up.
Yeah.
Let's go and wake up Gwen.
Oh, is it my turn already?
Yeah, if that's all right.
Oh, yes, no problem. Sorry, did I sleep too long or... No.
No, you're fine. I I had a bit of a weird music moment in the middle of the night, that's all.
Oh, another one. Can you still hear it?
No, it's stopped completely now.
Oh.
Guy played his pipe again, and it stopped.
Hmm. That's strange.
Maybe
Yeah.
we're in tomorrow.
That's very strange.
Yeah, don't really understand, but there we are. Problem solved.
Maybe. I don't...
No, I'm pretty confident.
I mean, if that's what you want to think, Orin, absolutely problem solved, but we potentially might need to look into it a little bit further. Maybe it's some sort of glitch with the pipe or something. Maybe it just keeps playing even if nobody's playing it. I don't know.
Yeah. And I was the last person it was used on. So...
Did he use it on you again?
No, he used it on Juna.
Oh, well, maybe if Juna starts to be able to hear the music, then maybe that will give us some sort of clue as to what's going on there.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't seem to be able to hear it, though, so...
Huh. Do you think Juna's asleep?
Look over at Juna. Does she look asleep?
After a short while, she's probably rested off a little bit. Juna, how asleep do you think you are?
Pretty asleep.
Pretty asleep.
She looks pretty asleep to me.
I was just wondering. I forgot to tell her about what her tea caddy does, and
Yeah.
was wondering if maybe we should put some things in there as a surprise / joke.
Yeah? What are you thinking?
I'm not quite sure. Leaves?
Leaves? I mean, that's arguably what's in there already.
Oh, yeah, tea leaf. Yes, of course. Should we see if my spear fits in there?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Perry Moppins, one of those children's books that I read about.
Oh, I don't think I read that one.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
Oh, yes. Let's see. Let's
She had a magical bag.
let's take
Something about a
from
spoonful of
everyone and
medicine
put
helps
them
the
in
sugar
there.
go down, but it didn't really make any sense, to be honest. But
You'll have, if we find a book about it, you'll have to tell me more about it. We try and see if we can get hold of her tea caddy.
Yeah, Gina, whereabouts have you kept it again? Just in your bags? Is it nearby?
Yeah, I think it's just like down by the side of her. I think Ruana is sort of snuggled up relatively near it.
So if the two of you want to get close, I'm going to have to make a stealth check.
Okay.
are we both sneaking up?
Should we flip a coin to see which of us does it?
Okay, you flip a coin.
Okay, I don't have one. I'm going to roll a dice. I'm going to roll a d6. Okay, which do you want to be?
4 to 6.
4. So you're going, Orin.
Okay.
You're...
Okay.
Okay.
Orin sneaks up. It was nearly a natural 20, but it's a 2.
Wow, so close.
That's a 6 for his stealth. It literally went whoop and then back onto 2.
So as you're sort of sneaking over, not only do you happen to step on one of the twigs near the fire, so there is a loud crack, it also causes you to stumble over and you just catch yourself, but you land on the box, push it slightly into Ruana, who sort of like hops up, is awake and starts staring at you.
Ruana. Just borrowing this.
Ruana just looks at them and does absolutely nothing.
What form is Ruana again?
But she's an Almiraj at the moment, so like a bunny with a unicorn horn. And she doesn't do anything. Her eyes just follow them, what they do.
I will slowly lift up the tea caddy. Slowly pull it away from Juna. And then sneak back over to Gwen.
Well done. I thought you were going to wake her up with that, but you did it really well.
I'm pretty stealthy.
Ruana's still watching them from a distance, just literally just staring at them.
Gwen's got half an eye on Rowana, but just like, I'm sure we'll be fine. Shall we see if the spear fits in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Try the spear.
So Gwendolyn opens it up, takes out the little tea shelf, and then start trying to put the spear into there. Does it go in there?
The top end of the spear does. It probably gets about halfway in before it stops. How big roughly is this spear? In my head, I'm sort of picturing it being a couple of feet long.
Yeah, it is. It's probably like 5 foot.
Oh, right. So yeah, probably about the first 1.5 to 2 foot gets in.
It's too big. I suppose last time we went with tiny hammer, and this time we've gone with something too big.
Something that's too long. Yeah, okay.
What can we put in? What do we... Oh, my bonnet. Let's put my bonnet in. Oh, this isn't the practical joke I'd hoped it would be.
Ruana hops over, keeps looking at them, and just stands next to the caddy.
Oh, yes. There you go.
Feel like I'm being watched.
Hi, Ruana. Ooh, look, another rabbit.
Do you want to go in the caddy?
Oh my god.
But do you think, can Ruana breathe?
I look at Ruana. Is she breathing?
She seems to be breathing like a normal animal would. Yeah.
I think she breathes, yeah.
I wonder if she breathes and we put her in there, she might suffocate.
I don't think we should put her in the
I don't
tea
think we
caddy,
should
no.
put her into the caddy, no.
Oh.
I don't think
You
Juna
killed
would be...
Ruana twice. Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine?
Juna's got a good sense of humour, but I don't think she'd be happy if we suffocated
No.
Rowana.
I don't think so.
No.
I wonder if I can fit this rope in there.
Oh, yes, do that.
I'll pull out 50 foot of rope and just start feeding it into the tin.
Yeah, again, sort of probably about sort of 30 foot of rope ends up in there before it starts like dropping in.
Okay. Maybe that's funny? Is that funny?
Yeah, can you just chop off the end bit? Make it 30 foot instead.
I kind of like my rope.
Yeah, just leave it hanging out. And then when
Okay.
Juna like goes to open it, she'll be like, "Oh, this must be a small rope." And then she'll be like, "Oh no, it's a really long rope." It'll be such larks. Orin and Gwen, the worst practical jokers ever.
I don't think Oren's ever done practical jokes.
Oh.
I will tiptoe back with the tea caddy and 20 foot of rope hanging out the front
Cool.
and put it back.
Nice work, Orin.
Thanks.
The rest of your watch goes by much less eventfully. The whole time you're sort of with one end of the rope in your hand, ready for something to happen. ready for Juno to wake up. Are either of you going to swap over to wake Enkidu up, or are you just both going to like plow through to the morning?
Do you know, I feel like I could do with a little bit of extra sleep, so if you don't mind waking up Enkidu.
Okay, we'll wake up Enkidu.
I'm going to sleep before he wakes up. Okay, bye.
Make sure when you wake him up, you take 5 feet back and poke him with a long stick.
I will wake up Enkidu.
Ugh. Is it still dark?
Yeah, we thought you could take a quick watch if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. You get some sleep. Anything interesting happen?
No. Oh wait, no, there was some music.
Oh, yeah? Music? Are there people nearby?
But there wasn't anything with a tea caddy.
Tea caddy? What are you talking
Nope.
about? What if you...
And Gwendolyn is just sniggering into her pillow but pretending to be asleep.
Okay.
But there was some weird music. I heard some music and it woke me up. And then Garth played his flute and then Juno heard the music and then the music stopped and now no one can hear the music. Can you hear the music?
Can I hear the music?
Make a perception check.
What?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
David. Stop with the crypticness.
17.
It's just your face, David.
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, our listeners...
David, just before we started recording, nothing dramatic's going to happen
I know,
tonight.
yeah.
None of us believe him.
Yeah, 17.
Nope, you can't hear any music.
Oh, no, I don't hear a thing. Just
Right,
the
it's
trees.
definitely stopped then.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to go to bed then. Do you want the dragon for company?
Sure.
Okay.
Ruana hops up onto Enkidu's lap as if to say, I'm still here, mate.
It looks like you've got company enough then.
Well, I've got plenty now.
I'll
Right.
see you in the morning.
Yeah, you get some rest.
Falls asleep.
So Enkidu, as you're sort of left there with Ruana sat on your lap, are you doing anything whilst you're waiting for the sun to rise?
Can Ramona... Oh, Ramona can only speak to Juno. But I still speak just to speak, like, just general chit-chat with her.
That's a
I'm
very
going to
sweet
draw
image.
that so much.
Yeah.
Little unicorn bunny.
I kind of imagine that you're sat there like cross-legged, just like idly.
Yeah.
Let's cradle it in my palm.
Yeah.
Hello, mate.
I think as well, Ruana's quite like happy to be handled by Enkidu as well.
Is it one of those things as well where like Enkidu does his coat up a little bit so her head's just poking out of his coat?
That's so cute.
This fearsome warrior
The
suddenly
warrior.
is just like...
Yeah. Cool. In which case, can you just make another perception check for like keeping watch?
That's an 18.
An 18. Toward the end of the night, as sort of morning is getting nearer and it's brightening a little bit, but the sun hasn't quite risen. In the nearby road, like you start to see a few more travelers passing by. Basically the kind of people who've woken up to get to the next town just that little bit earlier. None of them look dangerous. They just look like normal traders and sort of caravan type people. Maybe a few farmers sort of passing through. But apart from that, it's a very peaceful morning as the sun rises.
Okay.
Eventually everybody wakes up, start to gather your things. I don't know what you're doing for breakfast.
There's a piece of rope hanging out of my caddy guy. And Gwen and Orin, who are sleeping by me. This is very weird. Does anyone know anything about this?
I narrow
bit
my
of
eyes
rope.
at Orin. Like, nothing about a tea caddy. Eh?
It can't be a very long piece of rope, Juno, if it fits in your tea caddy.
No, because it's a very
course.
smul tea caddy.
Judy
Very
takes the lid off the
small.
caddy and just sort of like pulls at the rope. Pulls at the rope. Pulls at the rope. Pulls at the rope. Sort of looks around and keeps pulling at the rope. Pulling at the
Oh,
rope.
well done. That's a great trick. I love magic.
And then as the end of the rope comes out and I look into the caddy, can I just see the tea?
So the tea is on its like its own little shelf that you've had to like take out of the way.
Okay.
But it just looks like the caddy. The inside of the caddy as it was. Just a little wooden box, essentially.
Oh, that was weird.
Surprise!
What?
It's bigger on the inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it a magic caddy?
We discovered it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
It's a
my
magic caddy.
goodness.
You can put
So,
things in there. Oh,
You
yes,
can put
Orin.
a hammer in there,
Yeah.
30 foot of rope. You can't put a spear.
You can't put a spear, no. No, Orin's got a new thing where he can identify, what is it, identify object? And he was able to look at exactly
yeah.
what it can do.
Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I found out. I found out what it was designed to do. So it can hold about 10 different things.
That's
Not just tea bags. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Things
It's
bigger
pretty
than
amazing.
tea bags.
Yeah.
Ruana hops next to the caddy and Juna picks her up by the horn, drops her in the caddy, she
Oh my
disappears, and then she just
Oh,
bounces
no.
back out. Should I put the lid on? Well, Gwen, thank you so much. That is, I mean, I was pleased with the caddy and the company. This is amazing. If anyone needs me to hold anything.
And just think of how much tea you can keep in it now.
Well, quite. Anyone want a cup?
Oh, yes, please.
What is this podcast?
Is this not what you had in mind when you devised the D&D podcast?
It's that sort of moment where, you just look at yourself from the outside and go, we're talking about a tea box.
A magic
Magical
tea
tea
box.
Magic
Yeah.
tea box. Oh, love it.
Would anyone like a cup of tea with breakfast?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Enkidu, can you make a quick intelligence check, please? I'm going to give you advantage on this.
Good, because I have -1 to my intelligence. So, yeah, I need it. Oh, wow. Natural 20 on one of them.
Natural 20.
Yeez.
So, whilst you haven't necessarily seen a tea caddy of holding in this way, as the suspicion is in you, you are very well aware that if a creature were to be kept in that box, it would suffocate and die. You've heard of tales of like normal bags of holding being used in that way.
Oh, gosh.
And so, like, there is that slight fear of like, oh, maybe don't put the bunny rabbit in there.
Miss Thorn, I've noticed in a few days we've had Rowana in this form in our company. Like, she stays around, flies around, or perches around. She doesn't disappear into another dimension like my weapons do, does she?
She's quite new, so I'm still sort of trying to get to grips with how it all works and how she sort of come to me. So I guess I could try, but I'm not really sure. I'm still sort of learning about it.
Okay. Well, I've heard tales from my studies about interdimensional pockets and stuff. Like a bag of holding is a famous item, and there's a little space for storing things. And in this plane of space, the creatures or people that find themselves wound up inside tend to not be able to come back and die inside. It's not habitable.
Does he say this before I put the bunny in the caddy or after?
After.
After, yeah.
Like,
So is Ruana
yeah.
gone?
No.
Oh,
So
okay.
there is an amount of air in there, and it's only about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, literally, she just went in and bounced back.
Like,
oh.
she went in, popped out. Exactly.
Right, yep.
So it's fine for that.
Oh, Enkidu, thank you for telling me. Oh, and she clutches onto Ruana. I'm so sorry, Ruana. Oh my goodness, I won't be doing that again. It's very good to know.
Gwendolyn gives Orin a look like, glad we didn't do that.
That could have backfired. Surprise! We've killed your bunny.
Once you've all had breakfast, you've all had tea, you set off again the next day. The sun is beating down today. It's quite a bit warmer than it was, which is a nice change. But at the same time, after about an hour or so, you're all starting to get a little bit sweaty. It's a bit gross. For the rest of this day's journey, are you doing anything? Chatting about anything? Looking for anything in particular?
Just general chatter. I think Gwendolyn's just feeling a bit more like light of heart at the moment and just being out in the open air and just chatting idly to everyone.
Yeah.
I think Juna sort of like after they've been walking for a bit, sort of to the group says, so when we were in the table room, I was Enkidu for a moment, I was Orin for a moment. I just was wondering, no one had any memories of me, did they?
I saw a little bit of Guy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I saw Gwendolyn.
Oh, yeah, you were mentioning about that. Yeah, actually, Juna, I think I recognized you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nothing scary. Don't worry. You were just by a canal somewhere, like twiddling your toes and dangling them and such, and you had a letter in your hand. And I didn't know who it was who sent you the letter. He does know, but he's just trying to keep that quiet. But yeah, you just playing with this letter while dangling your feet around a canal.
It just was a normal letter.
Yep, it could have been a
Okay.
bank statement. Could have been anything about your housing. Dunno.
Probably something like that.
Yeah.
That's a thank you. It's been playing on my mind. It's a bit unsettling knowing that someone might know something about your past that you don't know about.
DM, can I just see how worried was she when, like, was it like a thought of like an embarrassment, or was it like an absolute like shame?
Ooh, make an insight check.
I rolled a 13 plus my 5, which gives me 18.
Ooh.
Oh.
Juna, it's up to you how it is, or whether or not you're playing it up. If you are playing it up in some way, you're welcome to make either like a performance or a deception or even a persuasion
No,
roll.
I think she, like, underneath it, I think you know that there's something in her past that she really doesn't want anyone to know.
Is it coming from like shame, or is it coming from
Not
guilt
from
or embarrassment?
Nope, it's just more like it's something that she just doesn't want anyone to know.
Okay.
Almost like if you knew, she'd be letting someone down, I think.
Okay.
Would that be right, David?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's like a fear of a secret coming out, but not like any kind of shame or guilt or emotional secret. It's more like knowledge, I guess.
Okay.
That's a relief. Thank you, Guy. That's put me at rest.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Didn't see anything about the letter or whatever. Looked nice though. Looked like you were pleased to receive it. That's all I could say. So, hey, might have been a good bank statement. Might have been the Roses giving you your paycheck at the end of the month. Is all as far as I know.
The who?
The Roses.
My family.
Oh.
I've received a lot of good letters from friends. Yeah, might be one of those.
Ah, nice. You got friends all over the continent, all over Dravane, or from a further afar?
Acquaintances from around the place.
Ah.
I've travelled a fair bit. Yeah.
Where's been the coolest place you've travelled?
Yeah.
It sounds like a dating question. It's like the first thing somebody asks you on a dating profile. What's the coolest place you've travelled?
My second question, Juna, is describe your perfect date.
Well, you already know that. It's a nice cup of tea in front of the fire. I must admit, the place I spent the longest was Splinter Falls, which is the place where I think we might get some answers to Enkidu Kai. But
What is Splinter Falls? I've heard you talk about that before.
Yeah, you've mentioned
Splinter
it quite
Falls,
a lot.
it's a city of essentially mostly wizards. There's a lot of magic research goes on there, and a lot of magic that's allowed, a lot of playing with it and discovering it. And I think it's a very interesting place. There's lots of diversity and different people there. It's very, very busy, very bustling. So it's quite a wonderful place.
And where is it?
Vicky looks at her map.
I'm looking at that
Sorry.
right now. I can't find it.
It's in Mirath.
It is, yeah, yes, it is in Marath. I know that.
Yeah.
It's in Marath.
Oh, it's not in Dravane.
It's not in Dravane, no.
Oren's ears perk up. It's in Morat.
Would anyone be interested in hearing the story of the woodworker?
Go
Of course,
on.
I'd be.
Yeah.
I'm always in the mood for a good story.
Yes, I'd love to hear the story of the woodworker. What?
When you know this story, I told it to you when you were younger.
Oh, yes. Oh, Juna's stories are the best.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
this
in
is-
that case, maybe Gwen should recite it then.
Oh, it's much better when Juna tells it. You're so
Oh, hello.
mean.
There it is. It exists. This is amazing.
Stories to travel by with Juna Setford.
I thought this was a guided meditation podcast, but is this a short story podcast?
So this is a story that they tell in Mirath. Don't they, DM?
So I've heard.
So, there once lived a woodworker in Splinter Falls where magic and people and the smell of excitement fill the air. Upon looking at him in amongst the excitement, you would never notice anything out of the usual about the woodworker. He worked hard and made the most beautiful carved objects, furniture, toys, and even staff and sticks. But what no one knew is that the woodworker was a wizard, and in every object he made, he buried deep in the centre of it some magic. Not much, but enough that if the owner of it needed it, they could draw it out with pure intentions. And here the woodworker lived his whole life and grew old, with no one knowing his true calling, content
that he had changed the lives of those who needed it most. And
I
those are
always
the type
liked
of
that
people
one.
you find in Splinter Falls. Yeah, you loved that as a kid, didn't you, Gwen?
Yes.
Yeah.
I always thought that maybe my wooden toys might come to life, just like in that story. Like maybe that he had made maybe my wooden train set. Trains don't exist. What am I talking about? My wooden cup and ball. Maybe that would come to life in some way. Silly things.
It's the silliest things that can be the most magic.
Okay.
Is that a story you heard in
Splinter Falls, yes.
So are you from Splinter Falls? Do you
No, I just spent some time there. Splinter Falls is where I met Eric, who brought me over to Dravane and introduced me to the Rose family.
Oh, right.
Eric's great fun.
Oh, he's a very nice man, yes.
Makes the best strawberry daiquiris around.
So, just so I'm aware, the continent that we're on, David, it's Dravane is at the bottom. It's like a peninsula, isn't it? Where Dravane's at the bottom, Ailish is the one that connects it to the mainland continent. And then above that is like a few other nations, and one of them is Mirath, am I right?
Silmarath?
You're down in Dravane, and then if you follow just the land northward, you'd pass through Aeland. To the north of that is Sulmarath, which is a fairly new nation in the scheme of things, and then above that is Mirath.
Oh.
So Mirath isn't on the map that we've seen.
It's not on the map that you've got. No.
Whoa.
It is beyond the map.
Where there be monsters.
So you spent a lot of time in Mirath?
Yeah. In Splinter Falls specifically. As you know, I'm a fan of magic, so I went there and just lived there for a bit.
Wow.
I lived a bit of a nomadic life, truth be told.
Huh.
Nomadic.
Oh! I didn't even mean a pun.
Oh my God.
You didn't think about that.
I thought you did that on purpose.
No,
Oh my gosh. That's insane.
She's a gnome.
I wish I'd thought of that, but no. Well done, Grace.
But no.
Oh no.
That's cracking, that is.
So you just ended up in Mirath?
I did. Do you know Mirath, Oren?
No, I've never been. Well, no, that's a fucking lie.
What?
I didn't even need to insight check that shit.
We didn't earn it.
I don't remember much about it.
Oh,
Whoa,
when were
okay.
you there?
Well, I think I was born there.
Were you
Oh.
indeed?
Yeah,
I thought you were from the south.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's quite
that's
a distance.
where I grew up, or some of the time anyway. But yeah, that's not where I'm from originally.
Oh.
It's quite the journey there, Oren.
Yeah.
From the
We have a
far reaches
well-travelled group, I
of the
must say.
continent to the Warden Isles.
Oh, I'm not particularly well travelled. I think the rest of you, though.
No, I'm not. No, neither am I, to be honest.
Do you know what took you south, Oren? Or do you not remember that?
A boat. I don't think you meant that.
You sailed around the continent to get to the Warden Isles. What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't the one sailing,
No, of course.
but yeah.
God, it's a baby Oren sailing a boat.
Like Moses.
The genius started at a young age with Orin when he learned to sail at the age
He
of
built
3.
his first boat age 4. Look, it's a sailing vessel.
Oh, cool. So what took you to the Warden Islands then, if you weren't originally from there?
Guy. No. I shouldn't presume.
What? Eh?
Huh?
No, I'll let Oren tell his tale when he's ready.
Oh, sorry. Was I presumptuous?
No, I was presumptuous.
Oh, what? Okay. Hey, Oren. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, whose business is it of mine?
Yeah, well, I don't think it was for the reason that you think it was, Enkidu. I know lots of people get transported to the Woden Isles because of something they've done, but I was just I was just sort of taken there from where I was before. I was only young.
Taken?
Yeah, kind of, I guess. Yeah.
Do you know who by?
Yeah,
Who?
Somebody you like, or
Well, it wasn't an individual. No, I was. Well, Ben's getting his notes.
I'm really enjoying you and get your notes out at the same
Let
time.
me out. Yeah, the suspense.
My backstory here. Yeah.
So it's just so let me just read from page 2.
The Chronicles of Orin.
The Chronicles of Orin. I was kind of in a place. I was in the Mercylands before. I guess kind of getting looked after, sort of by like the disciples of Tuvir. I guess it's an orphanage, I suppose.
The Disciples of Tuvir, David. Do any of us know what that is, or is that...
You'd know the name Tuvir. He's one of the 4 gods.
Oh.
The god of law and justice, but also war.
Is it like the equivalent of like an orphanage being named after a saint?
Yeah.
Yeah, type of a thing. Like,
Okay.
yeah, or like a religious institution running an orphanage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I was probably about 8 or something when we got taken. Well, some of us were taken from the Mercylands down to the Woden Isles. That's how I ended up down there. Yeah. So not really through my choice.
But you're from Marath.
Yeah.
That
That's
makes
what I was
a lot
always-
of sense.
Really?
Does it? Why? What do you mean?
I think you're the type of person that would live around that sort of place. You're intelligent, you've got knowledge of magic.
Yeah?
Would you ever want to go back?
Yeah. Definitely. I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go. I was keen to go north when we were picking which way we were going to go. It seemed like it was heading in that sort of direction. It's sort of why I set off from the Woden Isles. Kind of wanted to find out a bit more about where I'm from and what it's like.
So you were travelling north when you
Yeah.
got to the Lockhart Woods?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a good job we're heading that way, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it works out well. I feel like if I'm heading north, I'm heading in the right direction.
So, no, I have a question, but I think I'll save it for later.
All right.
It's okay. It's not a pressing matter.
I'm just gonna lean over to Gwendolyn and just be like, I love it when he does this. The ellipses always leaves me in suspense. it's like one of those candies that you just suck on all day. Like, whoa, what's gonna happen?
certainly intriguing.
The rest of the day sort of
David
passes.
regrets asking what you're chatting about on your journey.
It's all right. Most of that will be cut out. So
No, it won't. I'm editing this episode.
everybody else, and then it just gets to Orin. Like,
Just a whole Orin episode.
Guys, let me begin on page 1.
yeah. So the rest of the day's journey is again quite calm, quite nice. You chat to a few traders just to check that you're heading in the right direction as you go, and again they say Rosthall, the next town over, is about sort of another day's walk away. By the evening, you park yourselves up again, find a nice collection of low bushes that you can sort of seclude yourselves in, tie Bessie to. And
Oh, good. Yes,
Bessie-
Bessie's still there. Good.
Yes.
Bessie's still with you, don't worry. Bessie is still
We just
with you.
left her at where we were this morning. I feel like we had something else.
Guy is running off again.
Bessie!
But by the time evening comes, who's on watch first?
I'll go.
I'll go with Enkidu then.
Enkidu and Orin. Two of you make a perception check for me.
19?
12.
12. Whilst the two of you are sort of getting settled, you notice that Juna stands up from where she's sleeping, still eyes closed, still passed out, shuffles away over to where Gaius is lying down, and sort of stands about 10 feet away from him. Orin, can you make a charisma saving throw, please?
Oh,
Oh,
but I'm not charismatic. 13.
13. Yeah, so the music's back in your head again, and you can feel yourself walking slowly to stand next to Juna. And as soon as you're stood there, you feel a little bit drowsy. The music sort of drops down a little bit, and you just get this overwhelming urge to just watch Gaius.
The fuck? Gaius is
can't
asleep,
stand
Stand
it.
and
right?
watch Gaius.
I cast
Yeah,
Mage
Juna's
Hand.
still asleep, and obviously
No,
Enkidu,
Gaius is
you can't
asleep,
hear any
right?
music. Yeah, Gaius is asleep,
Gaius is
Juna's
asleep.
asleep, Orin is awake but has been pulled over, and Enkidu, you're awake staring at this whole situation.
So I cast Mage Hand, and
Mhm.
I'd use it to tap Juna on the head to try and like just get her to wake up.
Yeah,
Juna, wake up! I need some help.
and it does, Juna, like you feel like a tapping on your head. You wake up to see the scaled mage hand of Enkidu.
Oh,
Over
Enkidu. You need to control your hand.
Stop! Don't move. Look where you are.
Wait, where? What? Why? What?
Look, you're both doing it. You're sleepwalking, and Orin's awake, and he's doing it. And I have no idea what this is. This is very strange.
Oh dear. Is Orin like compos mentis?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in control of himself. It's
Okay.
just this urge to stand near Gaius and watch him.
Orin, at least we know
Yeah.
that it is that flute.
Well, hang on, I'm in the middle of something.
What?
And Juna, as you're stood there, you can hear that music, that same music, just sort of like drifting in the back of your head as well.
Oh, I hear what you heard, Orin. Can you hear it now?
Yes. I assume. Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite quiet, but it's there.
It's definitely there.
Right. Can you, Orin?
Yeah.
If I were to ask you to try and hum this sound, could you do it accurately?
Yes, Orin. Please do.
Yeah. I definitely can. I suspect it's not been composed yet, though.
Now's your time, Ben.
Do David's work for him.
Yeah, please.
Well, hang on. I'll do what I did yesterday. Can I stop staring at Guy, or am I compelled to continue to stare at Guy?
You're not. It's not like your compulsion. It's just like a really strong urge. That's just what you want to do. But like you can walk away and do other stuff. But like as soon as you've sort of reached standing near him, that's all really that you want is just to watch him.
Okay, Junior, give me the lid of your tea caddy a sec.
There you go.
And I'll do what I did the night before. I'll put my pen on it, and I'll use my magical tinkering to play the sound that I'm hearing in my head on the lid of the tea caddy again.
Yeah, nice. And yeah, this sort of like
Got
flute
out of
music
that one, guys.
sort of whispers out. And in Enkidu, it's essentially that same tune that Gaius has played on the flute a few times.
Right. Huh.
Sounds like that.
It sounds like that. I'm good. This is great. I'm going to wake up Gaius.
Yeah, and Gaius, obviously, you wake up to see Juna and Orin staring at you, and Enkidu sort of shaking you in a worried way.
Hey guys.
All right.
I think
Hey, Guy.
What's going on?
I think you need to. I think you might have a hold on Messep Thorn and Orin with the flute. I don't know if you can break it by playing this song again. I really don't know. Just trying anything here.
My flute. Oh,
Yeah, they can hear the flute when they sleep, and they're sleepwalking, standing over you. It's very strange.
I'm not sleepwalking.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is still going on. Sure. Okay. So I play the flute, right? Enkidu, that's what you want me to do?
Yeah, please. Actually, hang on a second. I'm gonna grab some leaves and just stick them in my ears. All right, I'm ready.
Okie dokie. And I will play a different tune from the other night.
Mm-hmm. So in Juna and Orin's head, the tune changes, first of all, to match what it is that Gaius is playing. And when he finishes playing, it's gone from inside of your head.
How do you feel?
Oh, right. There we go.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Is that like it happened to you last night, Orin?
Yeah.
When he finished playing, it disappeared.
It just went. I just couldn't hear it anymore. Yeah.
Okay, so that's weird. So, like, is this going to happen tomorrow night as well?
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, maybe you shouldn't make anyone else do anything with that flute until we figure this one out, because you've made me and Juna walk somewhere, and now we're both wandering around in the middle of the night looking at you.
Yeah. Orin, you said... Sorry, I'm a little bit still in sleepy land. Orin, you said that you, could identify stuff, right?
Yeah.
As in, if I give you
Yeah.
something, then you'll, like, be able to
I
work
can
out
work out what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to give it a go?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Great. I've been hoping there was another thing I could identify. Yeah. He'll sit down, he'll pull out the pearl spend 10 minutes fiddling with his goggles, attaching the pearl back into its place, click it into place, and then look through the goggles at the flute.
Yeah, and as you're sort of staring at it, first of all, it gives off a strong enchantment aura, and as you're sort of looking at its like striped woods, and sort of you turn it around a few times in your hand, and like through the little pearl, there's loads of those same like little scribbles of as if you're making notes about it yourself, sort of filtering through. And beyond what you know that it does, that it enchants people to walk half their speed away, no new information comes up.
No, there you go. That's all I can find out is that it does the walking thing. Nothing in there about any side effects that I can see.
Okay. So you hear the music of my flute, but it's not about my flute.
Yeah.
Maybe it's about Guy.
Yeah. Guys,
Well,
are you sleeping soundly? No funny dreams or anything like that?
DM?
Yeah, you're sleeping fine.
Yeah, I'm sleeping perfectly fine.
I wonder if it is the flute or it's you. Maybe next time we sleep, you shouldn't sleep near the flute.
Okay.
Maybe we
cool.
should put the flute somewhere different.
All
You
right.
could put it in the caddy.
Put it in the caddy.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the caddy if it fits. Does
Good
it fit?
idea.
Yeah, flute fits.
Okay. I'll just make sure I'm on the other side of the fire from the caddy.
Yeah, as sort of you lay down, sort of put the flute in the caddy, put that to one side. You go and lie down on the other side. You just hear an ear-piercing pipe flute in your head, Gaius.
What?
Ow! 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 Ow!
And then it starts playing really, really loudly, just really annoying tunes. Just just like bloody going for
What the
it.
hell?
Loads of little fiddles and
What?
just really annoying.
Oh, ow!
Really annoying.
Ow! Ow,
What's
guys!
wrong?
Ow!
What?
I hear flutes!
What?
Flutes! Ow! Get it out! Ow!
It's nice, isn't it?
Retrieve the flute.
Yeah, get the flute out of the box! Get the flute out of the box!
I'm going to get the flute out of the box and give it to him.
And as soon as it's back in your hand, Gaius, the music stops.
God.
Okay.
Whoa.
I
You right?
have no idea.
Nikita, what
About
the
this
hell is this thing that you got me?
I did. The guy said it was a special flute. I had no. It would just charm people, make a move. That's what he said.
Who was
I
this
swear.
guy?
Yeah, who did you buy it from?
Just a guy. He was just a guy in the shop. I thought he was trying to rip me off
Gwendolyn,
about the
from
price
some
of
of
the
this
flute.
shouting, you probably would have woken up.
Yeah, I was just wondering if she was awake or
From
not.
from guys screaming.
Yeah.
What is going on? What?
We have
Why
a demon
are you-
flute in our possession. We don't know what the hell this bloody thing is. Oh
A
my
demon
god!
in my
Demon
flute.
flute.
I don't know why. Why did it start screaming like as soon as we sealed it away?
Could we hear it screaming, or could only Guy hear it screaming?
Just Gaius.
Just Guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
as soon as I started trying to fall asleep, and it was in the box, and suddenly it was playing, but it was playing in my head, and it was really high pitched and really loud, like it was trying to get my attention, or in pain, or I don't know.
Oh, well, like it's a living thing. Like
Yeah.
Kenkiti was saying, like if we'd put something in, it would suffocate. Maybe there's something living inside your flute.
God,
no.
okay. I drop the flute and I back away.
shit.
Oh my god.
The further you back away, the louder that noise starts in your head, Gaius.
Oh, it's
You fine?
done again.
What?
Oh, I take one step forward.
Okay, get near the flute. Get near the flute.
And it gets quieter the closer you are to it.
Okay, I can hear the flute.
Oh.
Listen, Mr. Flute, I really appreciate this, but guys, help me out here. I don't know what to do.
Well, maybe it's possessing you. Is there a way that we could talk to it? I don't know. What's the flute made of? Is it metal? Is it wooden?
It's just wood.
Wood.
It's wooden. It's like striped, sort of a paler wood and then a darker wood. So it's got a nice pattern to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is just wood.
It's just
It's a
wood.
lie.
Gwendolyn's looking in through the little holes to see.
Is there a tiny creature
there
living
tiny-
inside it?
Not a tiny demon creature as far as you can see, no.
Is there a tiny
From
bunny
my
rabbit with a
assessment,
unicorn
Gaius,
horn?
I can't see a demon in there. She hands it back.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what to do, guys. It's like Flute really wants me to keep it.
May I see it for
Oh.
a second?
Yeah, go for it. I'll throw him the flute.
Does anything happens when he hands it over?
No.
Okay. What if I turn this into a pact weapon? Like I form a pact. It will take me an hour.
What?
What?
If I form a pact with this thing, I can seal it away inside this interdimensional space.
What?
And if it's
Hang on,
maybe
but is that gonna be
inside
different
me,
to
I
it
can
being in the
maybe
box?
speak to it if it's alive.
Now, hang on, buddy. Like, we don't want you to do anything. With respect, like, you've already got enough voices in your head already.
Yeah, so what's one more?
Yeah, I appreciate that, but you know,
I suppose they might have musical accompaniment that way.
yeah, that's true.
But what if it doesn't like being a packed weapon and it just like keeps on making a higher and a higher pitched noise until Guy's brain falls out his ears?
Oh my
Then
god!
I break the pact and then that's it. It's over. It takes less than a second
It goes
to
into an
break
extra
the pact.
dimensional space, did you say?
Yeah, I don't know where
But
this
isn't
thing
that
is,
what you
but it's
said?
inside me. Go on.
About the bag of holding, like the tea caddy of holding, that's an extra dimensional space as well, wasn't it?
I don't know what this is compared to what the caddy is, so I don't know if I see it inside my spirit or whatever that it can survive in there, because there are people in there.
Well, then maybe they can,
don't know.
like you say, maybe they can talk. I mean, if you can break the pact, then maybe it's worth trying, so long as it doesn't hurt Guy.
Kido, how much did you pay for this?
80 gold coins.
Okay, that's quite an expensive flute.
It was a lot. He was asking for a lot more.
Wow.
Okay, I'm so grateful for this Moonweaver Festival gift, but if this thing is starting to become like, hurting me a lot and potentially could kill me, why don't we just kill it?
Break
That's also an option. But if this thing is alive, maybe, I don't know, it could help us, or I don't know. But what do you want to do, Guy? This is affecting you the most.
I don't want it to hurt you, and I don't think if it gets broken, then I don't think it would possibly exist. Maybe let's just smash the damn thing.
it.
What if smashing it lets what's ever trapped inside there out into the world?
Fudge me.
What if it's a...
The DM has got a snigger on his face.
This could be a phylactery.
Yeah. Crowl emerges.
Oh, Crow, we had no idea you had a musical side.
flute.
Damn. I did not think of that. What if we have to break it, then...
Well, okay. I mean, you could try breaking it, but maybe we need to be prepared to deal if something comes out of it. But
Okay, that's plan B, okay? What Enkidu's suggesting is plan A?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Enkidu says he can break it straight away if it's hurting you, Guy, and what if it hurts you, Enkidu, though?
We'll have to take a chance. We can't have people sleepwalking every night,
No.
as it's been so far, doing God knows what else. It will take an hour. We'll have an answer in an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
Miss Septhon, can I have Rowana for company?
Of course. Ruana hops back into Enkidu's arms.
Okay. I sit cross-legged, palms in my lap, with the flute, and I begin the ritual of forming a pact with the flute.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever performed this rite before? In the same way, I think.
I have to
Did
do
you
it
ever
every day with... Before I got the level 3 feature, I did it with the scimitar. But it swaps every time.
Okay,
I
so
switch something level.
Yeah, so you sit there trying to attune yourself to the flute to try and bring it into that inner space within you. Unlike with the sword, you get the sense that it's not that it's resisting, but it's just not having the same kind of effect. And you get to about sort of 50 minutes, even then finishing up the hour, and you come to realize that this thing isn't a weapon.
Oh.
So you can't quite do the same attachment to it as your others.
Okay, it didn't work. I can't form a pact with this thing. So there's that thing. That's one answer.
Okay.
I am really scared about now smashing the thing and something else coming out.
I mean, if we're even able to smash it.
Could we get in touch with, what's his name, our wizard friend?
Heron?
Yeah, he wasn't best pleased last time I used my particular method of communication.
Yeah, but this is a situation
Is there a way of communicating with the shop owner?
Yeah, would I have to describe him so that someone can cast message or something?
Well, I can write him a letter.
Yeah.
Can they reply to the letters, David? Heron replied using... No, he replied using sending, didn't he?
No. You're sending them a letter, and if they have a way of responding, they can.
Yeah. So I don't know if the shopkeeper would be able to respond. I could send him a note, but really it's just, at that point, it's just an online review that we're just leaving a complaint.
Also, feel free to leave us a review on iTunes.
Use your book of notes to leave us an iTunes review.
Nice.
It will be indelibly scarred into our desk.
Got ideas for merch now.
So...
Maybe we need to see if we can find somebody who can help us with it. Perhaps until we can find a solution, make sure that at night that Juna and Orin aren't on watch together. Separate it up that way to keep an eye on them until we can find somebody who can help us.
We just know that Guy has to play the flute if one of us starts acting a bit weirdly, then playing the flute seems to stop it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think Guy's going to take the flute off him, are you, Guy? Because
Nope.
didn't seem to enjoy that very much.
Nope. Not a fan.
Oh.
Maybe if he plays it to you every night before bed, then you won't get up and sleep poor?
Maybe.
Worth a go. Do you want to try now?
Okay. And I will just...
make sure the others aren't listening.
everyone else stuff your ears with something.
Gwendolyn covers her ears.
And Kidu's still got his leaves in there anyway.
Yeah. At the moment, Daryl has his pencils in his ears through his headphones. It's a great image.
And I will play a jig.
A nice little jig. Are you purposely trying to make them move, or are you just sort of playing it for the fun of playing?
I'm just playing it for the fun of playing.
Cool. It's quite a nice jig. You kind of want to dance anyway. But ultimately, by the time Gaius finishes playing, there is no music in your head. It's just a very lovely tune.
Oh, that sounded nice.
Yeah, cheers. So now we can go back to sleep and well, I don't think I'm gonna be able to sleep really, but and y'all won't be coming up to me and looking at me and staring at me.
Don't think so.
Okay. I mean, it's fine. It's just a bit weird when it's like this in the middle of the night.
Sorry.
It feels pretty weird from this side as well, truth be
Yeah, I
told.
can imagine. Yeah, that's true. I'll stay up then. If
Okay.
anybody would like to stay up, please stay up, someone.
I'll stay up with
I'm-
you.
I'm gonna-
I don't mind.
Okay, wake me as soon as something strange happens.
When would you rather stay up or go to bed? I don't mind either way.
I mean, I had a good sleep already, so I'm quite
Yeah,
happy
sure.
to stay up.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
See if you have an uninterrupted sleep, and if we see you get up, then that might be good to observe, perhaps.
Yeah? Yeah?
Cool. Me and Gwen will stay up then.
Orin goes to sleep.
And for the rest of the night, watch goes by, much as expected. Nobody's getting up and walking around. There doesn't seem to be. I won't even make you make a roll. Nothing happens during the night beyond sort of you sit there watching the others sleeping, and then the sun rises.
No. That's nice.
Restful sleep.
That's good.
Breakfast, anyone?
Yes, please.
Yes,
You
please.
got two.
Gwendolyn gives Gaius a little squeeze of the shoulder, just kind of like, check he's okay.
I'll give a knowing look like, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'd love some tea, please. I got some rations over here, and some biscuits and stuff. And I will
Anyone
divvy out.
fancy a dragon barley?
Oh, thought you'd never ask.
I'll have a normal terrain time.
Tea for everyone is served.
Amazing.
Orin fishes a little bit of rope out of his tea.
Brilliant.
Nice.
Grace here, keeping you updated with all things No Small Roles related. I'd like to start this episode's bit in the middle by wishing the exceptional Vicky Gaskin a very, very happy birthday. We love you, Vicky, more than Juna loves a cup of tea. Talking of tea, here it is. Dear listeners, there is still time to take advantage of our Patreon January sale. You can pledge as little as £1 and get access to all Patreon perks this January. There's already some great content to check out, and there is more to come. To sign up, go to patreon.com/no small roles. Click on Become a Patron, scroll down and choose one of the existing tiers, or scroll further and click on Make a Custom Pledge to make a pledge of whatever you please. One of the fabulous perks is an invite to our next recording of No Small Questions on the 20th of January at 8 p.m. GMT. Patrons joining us on the Zoom will have the opportunity to ask their questions to David, Vicky, and guest player Sarah Gain in person. Superfan Sam will be hosting once again, so if you want him to pose your questions to the cast, send them to us via social media before the 20th of January. We are at No Small Roles on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find us on Facebook by searching No Small Roles. Roles spelt ROLLS. We are delighted to have 2 new patrons sign up this week. In fact, 2 excellent humans you will have heard us mention before. So this week's No Small shout-outs go to our very own superfan Sam, the host of No Small Questions, chatter on Superfan Chats, quite clearly trying to keep up his mantle of being a superfan. And our second patron is the awesome Pippa Beckford, who did a rock cover of our theme tune. Now, if you've not checked that out yet, do. It is freaking cool. Thank you to all our patrons so far. You have our eternal gratitude and our heartfelt thanks. Big love and big rolls to you all. And if you'd love to support No Small Rolls in other ways, you can do so. Reviews on places like iTunes are a fantastic way to help others find us. So if you can spare a few moments to say you like us, you would make our cast very happy. After all, we are actors and we do crave validation. Anywho, that's all from me for now. How about that weird pipe? Let's get back to that.
And after you've had tea, you have some breakfast, you set off again during the next day. About 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon, just on the horizon, you see Rosthall. You see the city, the large town come into view.
Nice.
And Rosthall is a walled town that's seemingly, from your viewpoint, built around 2 low hills. And atop one sits, it looks to be some kind of manor or estate, similar to what the Vondells had. But atop the other one, it looks like it's got a little fort. Yeah, like a fortress of some kind within the walls. Now, both of those buildings are made out of really like rusty coloured reddish brick. That's really quite nice to see as you're sort of passing through. And in fact, all of the buildings within the walls share that same rusty red colour. Outside the walls, like, buildings have begun to sprung up, and they're in a much more sort of generic style. From a distance, at least, it's a nice little red town on the horizon.
Oh,
Nice.
that's a rather pleasant view.
Very nice, yeah.
Looks pretty cool, doesn't it?
I've been to the Lake Ward before, but never to this part. Only Carth. So it's nice to see you around a bit more.
Yes.
I had
I
no
thought you
idea.
said you weren't that well travelled, Gwen.
Well, I mean, Carth's not very far from Pryden, really. But thanks for flattering me, Orin.
As you make your way into town, are you looking for a tavern or an inn? Are you looking for shops? What's your sort of port of call, as it were?
I'm looking out for if there are any signs of supporters of Berlin. Just keep an eye.
Make an investigation check.
Cool. 12 minus 1, 11. Burns.
So you don't see any of the familiar symbols, like the red and the silver wings of Lord Berrien. One poster scrawled across one wall that you do makes you sort of, you're not quite sure if it's graffiti or what it is, but you do see something that says "Suspect those close to you." And as you carry on walking, you sort of see another in a very similar style, written the same words, "Suspect those close to you," on a different building further down.
That's interesting.
That's a strange thing to put on a building.
Yeah.
Could we all see that, or is it just him?
Yeah, as you move closer and closer into town, actually, these signs keep popping up.
They've
more and
not
more.
got COVID, have they?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's track and trace. Leave your Bluetooth on.
That one says hands, face, space. What's that mean?
People are singing happy birthday
In
in the
fact-
bathroom. We don't know what's that about.
There are, as you sort of move through, you do see one or two people actually taking some of those signs down, which, again, is a slight interest to you as you sort of notice more and more of them.
Can I wave
They're
them
sort
down?
Can we go and talk to one of
Yeah,
the people who's taken the signs down?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a sort of 2 half-elf, chalky-skinned half-elf boys sort of taking them down bit by bit, almost with like a little scraper to scrape off where like the poster is sort of stuck on for a little bit too long. Both of them look like sort of fairly young, sort of late teens, early 20s as you approach.
Hey up, lads.
Hello.
We're new in town. What's the deal with this message here?
Oh, you don't have to worry about that no more. They caught him.
They caught who?
Oh, like really new in town.
Yeah, we just got here minutes ago.
Oh, We had a serial killer.
What?
That were fun.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it were mad. He went on a murder spree. We didn't know who was who. It was crazy. The faceless footman. Yeah.
What?
What?
That's all right. They caught him.
No, but
He's going to be executed up at the garrison
What? When?
tomorrow.
And that's the garrison, she says, pointing to the more fortress-looking building of the ones on the top of the hill. Is that the garrison?
Yeah. That. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
you tell me a bit more about this faceless footman.
The faceless footman. Yeah. It were mad. Like, we don't really know quite what happened, but basically, he were found out that he were up in the Red House, right?
Is that house? I point at the opposite hill.
Yeah, that one, where Lord Rostall and that live.
Right.
Not that Lord Rostall's there; he's normally out over in Forlos. But he were up there, like pretending to be a footman. But then it turns out that the footman and his whole family were dead. And then they figured that out. They were like, "Oh, he's an imposter." And then he like changed shape, and he was someone else, and he killed someone else. And try pretending being them, and then they caught him again, and then it were mad.
What kind of people did he kill? What caliber were they? Were they nobles? Were they politicians?
No, just normal people.
Really?
Could have been any of us.
So how did he catch him? How could he be sure that's who it was?
They got one of them arcanists in, didn't they?
Oh gosh, really?
Lord Rostall put in a word, and we got an arcanist in. Still here to make sure that he dies.
So
Who's the
that?
consortium?
that person will be at the execution tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can I just insight check them just because I feel like I'm going to regret it if I don't?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Make an insight check.
7.
Oh.
7. They just seem excited that the stress of the situation is over
Mhm.
and that they can like sort of talk about it in an excitable way rather than, as you can imagine, like the situation itself was probably terrifying because you didn't know if the person next to you was about to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is like a lot of relief in what they're saying, as well as just quite happily like chatting about the town's recent events.
And what did he look like, this faceless footman? Or does no one know?
Well, that was the thing. That was the thing, right? Because he were one person, and then he changed, and he was someone else. Somebody saw him change, and that's how we knew that it could have been any of us.
What? That is crazy.
That's
I
insane.
know, but because they caught him, we've been told to start taking down all these warnings for everyone.
So how long was he?
Yeah.
How long was he at large? How long was he going
Oh,
about?
like 2-3 months.
Wow.
How many people
Yeah.
died?
Like 20, 30.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
That is
No wonder he
All
got the
different
consult.
ways as well. Some were right gruesome.
Right.
Whoa, okay. Wow.
How did he kill them? Was it weapons or magic?
Well, yeah, like I say, all different. I think it were a weapon,
Right.
but I don't know. I didn't actually see none of the bodies myself.
And can I ask a slightly unrelated question? Like how are things with Lord Rostall in charge? Are things peaceful? Things go along well? They work?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not here a lot of the time.
Right. He's in Forlos Vale a lot, I take it.
Yeah, because he's on the Lord's Assembly and that, so he does a lot of the politicking.
Right, so who looks after the town when he's gone?
We got a local council.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I mean, they work out of the garrison as well. It's not really a garrison no more.
Right.
It's sort of like City Hall, really,
I see.
and guardhouse.
The guy.
There's a big old library there as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Orange
You can just
ice
go in and read books if you want.
Ben's face, listeners, just flicked up.
I was busy taking notes. Library.
Just out of interest, buddy, now that this place is murder-free, where would be a safe and lubricating establishment to spend the evening?
Oh, well, there's quite a few places. If you want to go inside the walls, there's Tabby Cat. Tabby Cat's quite nice. And Wise Man's Nook as well. That's nice. Targus there, he were great. Otherwise, I mean, I can see you got a horse there. There's a place outside of the walls called the Flying Filly. They got stables.
Okay, great. The first thing I need to do is make sure this horse gets taken care of. So don't worry, guys. I will find you. I will just go and sort this out about the stables. And while they're sorting out, I will spend like 5-10 minutes just finding those stables. David, how much for betting Bessie for the night?
For Bessie, it is 1 gold piece for the night.
I will do that. And I will make sure she has a tasty apple and some things as well.
Nice. And the Flying Filly itself is also an inn. So if you wanted to pay for rooms there as well, that's up to you. Whether or not you're quite happy. They're quite happy to just take the horse. But if you're also going to purchase rooms, that's another gold piece for 2 rooms.
Yeah, I'll let the group decide. I'll just make sure that Nessie's like in a spot,
Mm.
in a parking spot.
Yeah. She's parked up for the night. Yeah.
May I ask, this faceless footman, what was the final form they were caught in? Did they remind you of somebody you know, or
Not that I know, no. I think it were a little boy that they caught him in.
Mm-hmm.
a little boy?
Yeah. Like I say, it could change shape. It were well weird.
Yes, of course. But you say that they're certain that it's not somebody that you do know, it's not somebody innocent.
No, because the Arcanist, right? The Arcanist, did a check, and that's how we know.
Are you sure the faceless footman isn't just an arcanist now?
There is a moment of dread that passes over the two of them.
I'm sure.
And they're like, no, because is that possible?
I don't know. I wouldn't want to put any more worry on your minds. I'm sure everything's perfectly safe. I'm just querying some things myself. We should go speak to this arcanist just to.
Definitely.
Yes.
And we should probably make sure none of the party wander off away from the rest of us so we can make sure no one gets Where's Guy?
Where's Guy?
So you leave the two boys quite happily, still just scraping down the posters. And as you sort of start to move away, Gaius has obviously gestured to where he's going. It's not that he's just wandered off. And he's gone with the horse.
Oh, this again.
Where are we going to find him naked this time?
Yep. Which tavern will it be this time?
Just in the middle of the street. But you all meet up at the gate of the city. I keep saying city. It's more of a large town, small city. Big town, small city. So yeah, are you heading in through the gates? Are you going to... By this point, it's probably 4 or 5 in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite getting dark yet, but probably not early enough to, say, go looking through a library.
We could have a little look and have a little look around, couldn't we, before we settle in for the night?
Yeah, I'd be up for that.
Get our bearings.
Yeah. Check where the library is.
Mm-hmm. Go up, check out this garrison. Perhaps, we don't need to show that we have any affiliation with Arcanists, but perhaps they might be able to help us with our flute situation if we...
I think our Arcanist friend actively would want us not to say anything about any affiliation with the Arcanists.
Absolutely, yes. So we're just, we're just tourists who have a problem with the flute.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely.
That classic disguise.
You move through the town, and it is like the red brick of the buildings gives the whole thing, especially as the sun starts dipping down, like a really nice autumnal feeling, even though you're in the middle of spring. As you make your way up to the garrison, you find that where there would have been gates beforehand, they've been removed, so you can walk directly into the courtyard. And it's sort of like a big U-shaped building around this courtyard, the centre of which they seem to be preparing a set of gallows. As you sort of have a peek through the gate there, to your right is where you can see a lot more sort of prison bars and things, and to your left through the windows you can see just rows of books.
I want to look at the prison.
Yeah, me too.
Wrong
I have a really bad
answer.
feeling about this.
Make an investigation check if you're looking for anything in particular at the prison.
That's a 5 - 1.
Are you looking for the prisoner, Enkidu?
Yeah.
Then
Just wanna get a
I
look at
can
him.
help you and give you an advantage or check myself. That's what I'm interested to see too.
If you find him first, that'd be better.
Cool. I'll have a go. It's not great.
It's better than a 4.
11.
11. So you sort of edge your way along through the windows. There are a few red cloaked guards around.
Mm-hmm.
Their cloaks sort of almost matching the brickwork. But as you sort of just casually looking through the windows, you don't see. It's quite dark inside, so you don't necessarily see any movement of people. Through a couple of windows, you get the impression that it is just like a guardhouse, sort of in some of the rooms. And then as you sort of move even further around, it just sort of turns into more offices.
Mm-hmm.
So even though there is clearly a prison section of this building, they're not necessarily too scared about the prisoners escaping. You surmise. But no, you don't see any actual prisoners.
They might have in a secure location. I mean, this person's highly skilled, very dangerous. They might not even be here.
No.
I have a terrible feeling.
I tell you what, me too, Enkidu, and I want to get near enough to read their thoughts and see what's really going on.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah. Well, I want to, yeah. Shall we have a nose then?
Yeah, what about everyone else? We got to stick together. So,
True.
what do we want to do as a group?
Oren's just been staring at the library.
All right.
What?
Yeah, we should probably move together.
And actually, Oren, this is probably the largest library you've seen. It's not necessarily a grand library in like as far as you can imagine, but this is probably the most amount of books in one location that you could, even just through the windows, you can see that like how far the shelves go back.
You want to go in there, don't you, Oren?
Yeah, no, I do, but okay, no, but the prisoner's probably the time critical thing.
Well, perhaps if we just all
Books can wait.
yes, and perhaps if we walk around the building, we can kind of, Junie, you can kind of scan for thoughts, can't you? Even if you can't see them, maybe you'll pick up on. If we kind of
here's an idea going on from that. We could send Rowana in. I mean, can you see through her eyes or anything? I've read about
Yeah, I
eyes.
can. I think so. I did it once before
Yeah.
when we were at the festival. Yeah.
It might save us a bit of time if Rowana was able to slip in,
Yeah.
find the person for us.
I think she kind of sticks out like a sore rabbit with an antler.
Change her form,
She
can't you?
doesn't have to be a rabbit.
Oh, okay. What can she be?
It's a very good question. I could turn her into something like maybe a cat or a bat or an owl or a rat.
Oren's going to have a look around and see if we can see any little animals around generally.
Oh, that's a good idea, yeah.
Make an investigation check.
14.
Yeah, there are a few small birds around. As you're sort of stood in the courtyard, as you're sort of looking more into the corners, you do notice a little mouse scurry by.
What about a mouse? Can she turn into a mouse?
Can she, DM?
Yeah, she can turn
it's
into
not in
like
the player's
tiny
handbook,
beasts.
But,
Yeah. I'm quite happy to go with the rule that she can be a tiny beast of
Cool.
some description.
cool. So a bit like a rat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
small rats.
Come here, Ruana. And Juna's gonna scoop up Ruana, wave her staff in the air, and then she's gonna place Ruana on the floor. And as she touches the floor, she's gonna turn into a mouse.
Again, it does take an hour for you to do that.
Let's look at the library while we wait.
Yeah.
We'll leave you here, Juna.
Juna starts moving in very slow motion.
Okay, I
Can we
did not
cover
know
up?
that. This is the first time I, Vicky, am using this particular type of spell. So yeah, and then she just sort of like
so
pops on her
essentially
shoulder.
to change her form, you have to cast the spell again.
Cool.
Is what it is. So it's like there's a whole hour long casting.
Can she go? Can she wave her staff and the spell be Elekanama nama natu natu Elekanamen?
For a full hour.
Yeah.
That's for our
She
musical
sings the
theatre
entire
fans.
Wicked soundtrack.
Yeah. Does she have to hold the concentration for an hour, or does the spell just take an hour to change?
It takes an hour to cast it. Yeah, so like you sort of step away from the garrison rather than just doing that, I'm assuming, in the centre of the courtyard.
Let's go somewhere quiet for you to do this, yeah, Juna. I didn't realise chanting was going to be part of it.
You find a nice little sort of nook down a side street that the rest of you can at least like sit down and chat about next moves and whatnot.
Oh, if we're sitting for an hour, Oren's going to sit and get out his carpenter's tools and fiddle with them for an hour and slowly sort of turn them into alchemy tools over the course of an hour.
Nice.
Using the ability that I can't remember that allows me to do that. Right tool for the job.
That artificer ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes an hour.
Gwendolyn's a bit restless, so she's going to basically like see if she can find anything to do pull-ups on.
Nice.
She's just kind of feeling like she maybe should start doing some training, like just in case they find themselves in fights again, and starts making a little circuit for herself.
Yeah, you find like a little hanging lantern to the side that you can like grab a hold of.
Nice, yeah. It's like she's got a little workout in her head that just like, you know, when you see somebody running along and they're suddenly like jump and clap because they've got it in their head, like she's kind of doing that. She's got a little thing going on.
Yeah.
And when I say woodcarver's tools, I mean smith's tools that I've transformed. Cool. Got that wrong. Sorry.
Got one set of tools and now they're a different set of tools. I don't know what any of them do. So yeah, like after an hour or so, Ruana is transformed into a little a little mouse. Did you say mouse?
Mouse, yes.
Mouse. What does she look like as a mouse?
As a mouse, I imagine she's like a little sort of deep mahogany brown mouse.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, with big old ears and a little pink nose.
Yeah.
No.
And a horn.
Don't be silly, Ben.
So you put her down, close your eyes, and sort of set her off running. Have you given her instructions as to what to look for, or?
Yeah, I've sort of said to her telepathically, go and see if you can find who you think might be the arrested one. And I think I need to be within 100 feet. So I'm going to go relatively close to where I'm going to put her in. So I'm assuming we all kind of gather in the, like, not an obvious place, but not too far from the building.
Yeah. And as sort of like it's getting closer to the end of the day, there are a few sort of the public are being like ushered out. But you find a good enough spot nearby, sort of sat on a wall that you don't look suspicious really. You're just sort of like you're all sat there chatting. Juna closes her eyes and Ruana sets off.
So whilst that's happening, I can't see or hear anything where we are, can I?
No, you can feel touch.
Cool.
So if somebody is like holding your hand, you can feel that.
Can I talk?
Yeah, and people can hear you, but you can't hear yourself.
Cool. Okay.
What's Ruana looking for?
So yeah, she's just gonna like sort of scamper in through the door and just sort of be sort of looking and listening for talks of this faceless footman. And I think like she's heard that he was arrested as a little boy, so maybe looking for a little boy. But yeah, just sort of hearing, like, yeah, trying to listen out for anyone talking about them, like hearing anything about prisoners, I guess, to begin with, to try and work out where the prisoners are.
Mm-hmm. In which case, make an investigation check using the mouse stats.
Oh,
Mouse stats.
mouse stats.
Oh, they're mouse
You lose
stats.
rat stats if you can't find a mouse.
Yeah.
Rat stat.
Rat stats.
Oh dear. Oh, rats are not intelligent. 4.
You don't say.
Four altogether. So she spends a good few hours running backwards and forwards, trying to understand where this person's being held. She does find the cells through her eyes. You can see like she does make her way to cells, but then inside each of the cells, a few of them have just got like drunkards. A few of them have got sort of slightly dodgier looking people, like more beaten up and stuff. There's no little boys in any of them.
I'm also relaying this to everyone in real time.
Yeah. There's no little boys in any of them. There's no people that are like changing their face or anything like that.
Right.
Sort of she scurries right the way down, right the way back again, but she kind of gets a little bit lost in it. The other thing that seems to be annoying her is that she can smell rats, and she is nervous about them.
That's fair enough.
Is there a chance you can ask her to see where there are more guards than there are anywhere else?
I don't think she can hear you, Enkidu.
Yeah, Juna can't hear you,
Juna
so
can't
I
hear,
can
sorry.
ask.
No.
I can ask stuff, but I can't take yeah.
Okay.
But I think all of that kind of stuff, I think like she would have been instructed to do at the beginning, and she's just not very good at investigation.
And whilst there are guards stationed around the place, beyond like the entrance to the cells themselves, there doesn't seem to be any build-up of guards. Like that seems to be the only the location that's where they're sort of most concentrated, is just outside the prison cells. Again, like as the sort of mouse scurries through, the sort of office space of the guardhouse has got one or two guards sort of chatting idly, but
and no one's
more
mentioning the faceless footman.
if they do mention the faceless footman, it's more just in relief that they're caught and they're looking forward to them being executed in the morning. That kind of thing. Less, oh yes, they're down there in cell 4 point whatever.
Yeah.
Again, it's like a sense of relief that like they've done a good job. Even if they needed a bit of extra help, the town itself has managed to catch this criminal. And that's really the only thing that you hear about it as Ruana's passing through is just relief.
Yeah, if she doesn't hear anything or see anything, then she just presumably comes back and Juna's, thank you, Ruana. I hope it didn't smell too bad in there of rats. Sorry, everyone.
No, that's plenty. Thank you. It's fine.
Perhaps I could go and try and talk to a guard. Just as a local tourist interested in the gallows, I've heard there's a execution the next day. Perhaps if you came with me, Juna, you could listen to their thoughts, see if there's anything
Yeah, for sure.
maybe in their bubbling away in their surface, or
Yeah.
or if anybody else would like to go do that. I mean, you know.
I would also like to come along.
Well, we're just a classic tourism party who need to get our magic flute repaired.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I just thought, you know, if not too many of us, it might be easier, or I don't know, like less threatening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Orin looks over at the library. I can wait over there if you want.
I mean, I suppose we're not the most threatening looking bunch in the world, to be honest.
Juna shoots a tiny look Enkidu's way.
And he's just like, he looks embarrassed.
Well, okay. Well, why don't because Oren looks like he's about to bust a gut here. Why don't me and Oren just go poke our head in the library while you guys go and sweet talk the other people.
Yeah. I
We'll
tell
go
you
give it a
what,
go.
and she holds her hand out with Rowana in. I tell you what, Orin and Guy, you take Rowana.
Oh yeah, sure. And then she'll just like scurry up my arm and just, I presume, to prop herself just nestled into my cloak.
Yeah.
As you're sort of all getting ready to go, almost all of you notice that there's been a guy sort of loitering fairly nearby. Looks a little like he's not been necessarily like approaching you like you. He's just sort of sat at a slight distance. Just looks a little bit dodgy. Oh, I realise the only description I've given this guy is shady.
Bit shady, bit dodgy, little bit shady.
Is it the real
yeah, there's,
Slim Shady?
Slim Shady, exactly.
Has he stood up yet?
Basically, he just
sort
looks
of,
like
Please stand up.
that's the character.
Stood up, yeah.
A sort of olive-skinned human, messy brown hair. You get the impression that he's not necessarily been watching you, but he's definitely been listening a little bit. And as you sort of all get up to move, he does sort of edge on in. He goes, sorry, hi.
Hi.
You said something about cursed flute? Is that right? Looking over at you, Orin.
Yep, that's why we're here. We've got
Oh
a
my gosh.
troublesome flute. That's the only reason we're here.
Yeah. Well, my name is Jerick. Nice to meet you.
Jerick.
Hello, Jerick. Yeah. I happen to be connected in some way to some people who might be able to help you with that kind of problem.
Oh, really?
If you'd be interested.
I'm going to go ahead and insight check Jerick.
Yeah.
Please do.
He's been openly described as shady. I'm sure he has
Yeah.
good intentions.
It's definitely on the down low.
The best roll all episode. 19.
19.
That's a lie. Sorry, 17.
Even with a 17. Like, yeah, you get the impression that he's telling the truth. He is connected to some people that might be able to help you. He's clearly about to ask for a fee when it comes up for it. Like, he's doing this to make money. You get that impression. And as you're sort of looking at him, like up and down, he sort of scratches his neck just a little bit, and you just see the edge of a little hexagon tattoo.
Oh my gosh.
I knew it.
And that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
Jerick.
Jerry.
Thank you, everyone.
You have been listening to David Knight as your Dungeon Master, Ben Galpin as Orin, Chris Watts as Gaius, Daryl Bailey as Enkidu, Grace Kelly Miller as Gwendolyn, and Vicky Gaskin as Juna. Original music by David Knight. Please tell your friends, subscribe, and follow us on all the social media.